It's been 49 days since the abrupt closure of the Washington Bridge. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Shannon Heggie.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. Days after we learned the Department of Justice is launching a federal investigation into what happened, the director of RIDOT did not have much to say about it. Sheena Losciuto is live in East Providence tonight after taking some of your questions straight to state leaders. Sheena?
Well, some of the top questions here still don't have answers, like what happens from here and how long will it take? Today, we were told that the nation's top transportation officials are also looking into it. While federal investigators are looking into the Washington Bridge breakdown, conversations continue about solutions.
Well, I called Secretary Buttigieg this week. We had a long discussion. I pointed out in detail what's happening.
Senator Jack Reed says he's been in talks with the United States Secretary of Transportation, emphasizing the traffic impacts Rhode Islanders on a daily basis.
He gets it. He told me that this is very high on his radar screen. His staff is working on this. We plan to work hand in hand to get any resources we can for the state.
Separately, Governor Dan McKee's office says he called FEMA over the weekend, looking for assistance related to the bridge closure, requesting flexibility. His administration says they continue exploring several options.
We need to get the information before we, put out a plan. And at the moment, we're proceeding based on the information that we had when I was, asked and recommended that we close the bridge down.
All while questions continue building at a local level about what happens next. There's a little bit of concern with the timing of when we got the letter for the federal investigation, plus when it was put out to the public. Any response on why it took hours?
I think you can ask the governor's people about that.
I think the governor has probably answered that for you.
We want to hear it from you, though. Did you have a...
Well, my answer is the same. There was a certain amount of diligence that had to be done, and it went through. We got it out the same day. Thank you.
And the governor's office also tapped a point person today, Joseph Allman, to really oversee everything that goes on with the Washington Bridge. We'll have much more on that coming up new at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in East Providence tonight, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.
We've got reaction from the governor and the DOT director to the federal investigation into the Washington Bridge breakdown. I'm Shannon Heggie.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. Meantime, Governor Dan McKee is sending one of his top aides to RIDOT to deal with the crisis, while the daily traffic backups on 195 in both directions seemingly have no end in sight. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto begins our team coverage tonight from East Providence.
Well, Governor Dan McKee says a federal investigation is not unexpected. In fact, he says he welcomes it, telling RIDOT to fully cooperate. On day 49 of the Washington Bridge closure, Governor Dan McKee announced his senior deputy chief of staff, Joseph Allman, is being tapped to provide oversight on all things related to the bridge breakdown. On Friday night, the governor's office reveals the DOJ has informed the state federal investigators are looking into what happened. Meanwhile, a RIDOT spokesperson acknowledges the agency knew about this for more than 7 hours before it was made public. That drew criticism.
First of all, we were notified in the morning on a Friday, so the notion that this was released on a Friday was nothing more than the fact that we were informed on a Friday, right? So we have to go through a process, due diligence, making sure that we're reviewing the issues, making sure our legal department reviews the issues, and we made a very prompt, notification to the media.
Do you guys want to just head out, maybe some open space right outside the door? It's a little...
Sure. At an unrelated RIDOT event this morning, Governor Dan McKee's press camp pulls us aside outside to interview the governor. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye on Alviti. This is his first public appearance since the DOJ reached out on Friday. During our interview, where the Washington Bridge remains the main topic, I noticed the director walking to his car.
Project that needs attention.
Director, do you have time for a few questions? First, he's asked if he has a response into the federal investigation into the bridge.
No. As with any other kind of investigation like this, we'll be cooperating. The governor has given us instruction to cooperate fully, and that's what we'll be doing.
There's a little bit of concern with the timing of when we got the letter for the federal investigation, plus when it was put out to the public. Any response on why it took hours?
I think you can ask the governor's people about that.
I think the governor has probably answered that for you.
We want to hear it from you, though. Did you have a...
Well, my answer is the same. You know, there was a certain amount of diligence that had to be done, and it went through. We got it out the same day. Thank you.
And that's where the interview ends. According to the governor's office, Director Alviti will be running everything related to the Washington Bridge through Almond to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And tonight, some of the biggest questions still don't have answers. The state officials still have not said how exactly this moves forward or what that timeline will look like. They say they're still gathering information themselves to make that decision. Reporting live in East Providence, I'm Sheena Loshuto, 12 News.